Hi, this is Joe again with another movie review. And some time ago, I done a whole bunch of reviews based on Oscar-winning films. I've done a bunch of them, but I haven't done this one, and this is the one I'm going to do for this video, and that's the 2008 Academy Award-winning film Slumdog Millionaire. It should be Crapdog Millionaire because this movie was not. Even though it won, I think about 8 or 9 Academy Awards, but to me, it's like, how could this movie possibly have won the Oscar for Best Picture? This is like one. I still think that Platoon was worse as an Academy Award-winning film, at least the ones I've seen. This one is not. It's pretty close to probably being like the worst Oscar-winning movie ever. Of course, this movie, for those of you who don't know, it's based in India. And you had an Indian Muslim. Already it's off to a bad story. Was born and raised in the slums of India. Got out of the slums and ended up winning $1 million on India's version of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. He somehow got on the show, won $1 million, and he somehow was accused of, before he answered the top question, the $1 million question, he was grilled and he was tortured actually because people thought that he cheated, because there's no way this 18-year-old kid from the slums of India was able to know all this stuff. And of course, most of the movies have flashbacks, and he tells a story. This guy named Jamal tells a story about how he knew all this stuff, how he knew all these questions, all the answers to these questions, and and of course the whole story is fictional anyway, but he just ends up telling a story, and it's like, I'm watching this thing, having to see it like on Showtime or something. So I figured, since I haven't seen this one, and this one won the Academy Award for Best Picture, I figured, hey, watch it and have a subject for my movie reviews. And this one is just god awful. I mean, it's awful. And like I said, I know a lot of people were surprised this movie. This movie was one of the top Oscar-winning movies in terms of Oscar wins. But this one, like a bunch of other movies, has won the Oscar for Best Picture, but no Best Acting awards. And even supporting actors, it didn't win any acting awards. To me, I feel that an Oscar-winning movie should have at least one person winning an Academy Award for an acting. Even if it's a supporting acting awards, it should have won. Didn't. And this one was no different. Having the Rocky and Titanic and Lord of the Rings movies, Return of the King, they won all these awards, didn't win the one acting award. And that's been happening a lot at the Oscars. The movie didn't win for not one Best Acting award, but won a bunch of these and the technical stuff, and won for Best Picture. But to me, Slumdog Millionaire didn't really do anything for me. In terms of, I'm like, wow, this is a great movie. I didn't think Slumdog Millionaire was such a great overall movie. Because it's like even though it's a British production, it's like almost like a stereotypical Hollywood underdog story. Really, this kid coming from the slums. And towards the end of the movie, his brother is killed by the gangsters that he was working for, and he reunites with the girl that he fell in love with because he knew them since they were children. Almost kind of like the Lion King, almost, where the kids knew each other since they were kids, and they fell in love and they get married in the end. Well, they didn't get married in the end, but they reunited at the end of the film. And one of the reasons why this guy Jamal went on the Millionaire show because his girlfriend liked the show. She was like obsessed with the show. so he can go on to impress her and maybe probably getting out of the slums, by winning the $1 million prize. That was also one of the real reasons why he won. I mean, it's like such a crazy casino thing, but like I said, it's not the greatest Oscar-winning film of all time. I still think Gone with the Wind is as the greatest Oscar-winning movie of all time. But this one is just horrible. I mean, it's horrible. I watched this thing and like, where is this thing going? And so there was a fake tour guide in the Taj Mahal. They did have a sequence from the Taj Mahal about him being like a fake tour guide, giving fake bullshit information to tourists so he could get scam money. A lot of scams, scamming people, stupid tourists for money, mugging people, robbing people, probably even killing people in this movie. And wins $1 million, and it's cool that he wins $1 million. Wow, story, what a thing. And I mean, it's such a ill-conceived thing. I mean, I know about the gun because a gun that Colt 45 was pointed at my head once, so I knew who made the gun. Or I know who. And the $1 million question was, who was the third musketeer? And he says, I know the Three Musketeers because my mother made me that story when I was a kid. So I remember that name. I mean, it was like such a crazy casino thing. And like, seriously? I mean, I thought it was just an unbelievable story. I mean, it really was. And when they kept it to, and then of course he won. It's like one thing. I think in Britain they did have, and this is an actual incident that actually did happen, where a major in the British Army went on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and cheated, and there is a documentary on this, but that's an actual true story. But the guy wasn't tortured of cheating. He wasn't tortured as he was being interrogated over the cheating scandal. This kid was, and it's like. Like in did a review for Zero Dark 30, they all complained about the torture scenes in Zero Dark 30. Where was the outrage that an 18-year-old kid was being tortured for a quiz show? I mean, it wasn't like being tortured to get information about a possible terrorist attack. No, he was being tortured because he won $1 million on a quiz show. I mean, where was the liberal outrage over that? That's what I want. That's what I want to know. Where was the stupid outrage when this kid truly was a Muslim Indian or an Indian Muslim kid? But still, doesn't excuse the fact that they never complained that this kid was tortured for winning $1 million in a game show. I mean, it's one thing to interrogate him to let him know how, after asking if he had cheated, that's one thing. But to torture this kid and to electrocute him, it was really, hard to watch. I mean, for a quiz show. I mean, seriously, they're torturing this kid because he won or was about to win money on a quiz, and that was before he even got the $1 million question, because they filmed one show where he got all the questions, and then the next show they had to do like the $1 million question or the $500,000 or their equivalent of the $500,000 question and the $1 million question. He was being tortured for knowing the answers to these questions. I mean, and then of course the rest of the movie was in flashbacks, and it was really, at times it was really hard to follow the movie at times because they kept jumping around back to when I was a kid, to the torture scenes, or interrogation scenes, and then they went back. I mean, it was really hard to keep up. And people complain about the ending in the Kevin Costner movie For Love of the Game, but I think this was worse than the ending. And the funny thing is, this movie won the Oscar for Best Ending. I mean, this one went for Best Ending. Think how the thing is. I mean the way they jumped around with the storylines I'm talking about, with the flashbacks and the torture stuff, and then back to the flashbacks, and then and how he knew all these answers. I mean, it would be more interesting if he knew, show scenes of him actually know how he knew these answers, and going back in the flashbacks and how he knew these things, other than being in the slums, being in, criminal enterprises and stuff like that. That would have been better than what the hell this movie did. I can understand what they were trying to do in this thing, but in Slumdog Millionaire, but it was really, really, you like suspend your disbelief in some parts of this thing, especially the relationship with the main character and the girlfriend, and I mean, it was really, really messed up movie. I mean, I think, like I said earlier, I still think that Platoon was the worst Oscar-winning movie I've seen. This one's probably second. Well, I haven't seen Crash, so I can't judge on that. But if I had to pick the two worst Oscar-winning movies, it would be Platoon number 1, Slumdog Millionaire number 2. As the worst Oscar-winning movies ever. So that's my review of Slumdog Millionaire. Please click on the video, please rate it, feel free to comment on it. Please subscribe to my channel, and please forward this video to your Facebook pages. You can check out all my reviews, and not only on my YouTube channel, but rallyc.com, that's all WDY, that's C.com. There's a homepage to the Rally Reviewer, Christine Moore. Please check out all of his videos on his website. Thanks for watching, and catch you next time.